Good morning. Today I thought I'd do a couple of cards from one of our Sale-A-Bration sets called Thanks a Bunch. I thought this was really a cute and, kind of a different set. So we're going to make a similar card to this, and then we're going to show how to step it up a little bit. And true to what I said I was going to do, I have stamped the inside, and I also have stamped an envelope. So let's get started. So this is a photopolymer set. So when you stamp, you're going to want to be on a platform because like our red rubber stamps have that cushion. The photopolymers don't. So to get a good image, you usually want to be on a platform. If you don't have one of these, just some of the fun foam from the craft store will work just as well. All right, so the first one I'm going to make is going to be very similar to, or going to be pretty much exactly like the one I already made, but I wanted to show you to review the masking. So you see how it looks like one carrot is in front of the others. So what I do to mask is I take a piece of a Post-it note. Now you don't have to use a Post-it note. You can just use a piece of copy paper. You want it to be very thin. You don't use cardstock for a mask usually because then that's going to cause more of a white line between the images. And I just stamped 2 of them on here and then cut it out. Now the carrot's very easy to cut, just straight lines. Okay, and then when I'm done with the masks, I always just store them here on my stamp case so that they'll always be there for me if I need them. All right, so I'm going to stamp this one first. And I'm stamping and using the card base as Mango Melody. I love this color. I'm not much of a yellowy, orangey person, but the mango has always been, I think, an awesome color for me. And I'm gonna, just don't want to get any along the edges here because then that ends up coming out on my card, which you can see it did on some of them. All right, so you're always going to stamp the image you want in the front first. All right, so I'm going to stamp that one there. Okay, so then to stamp the ones that you want behind it, you're going to cover this front image with your mask. Okay, and this is why I use a Post-it note, is so that it'll stick down. If you use a piece of regular copy paper, you might have to hold it, but that's okay. And the reason I used this pink was because that was the one that was long enough. My yellow Post-it notes weren't quite long enough for this carrot. So, all right, and then I'm going to stamp one here. And you can see, whoops, my mask came up. You can see how that leaves just a little bit of a white line. That's okay. Put my mask back down because I want to stamp the 3 carrots. Okay, and then you take your mask up, and like I said, then you've got one where it looks like this carrot is in front of the other carrots, and that's masking in a tidbit there. So the other thing you can do if you don't like to mask is you can actually cut out one of these carrots and just pop it up and put it in front of the other ones. And I might do that on one of my other cards. Okay, so then we're going to stamp the little stems that go along here. And I think I'm actually going to use a smaller thinner, I should say, block for this one, just because my other block, I think, was too wide. All right, and I'm going to use the mint macaron for this because the paper I'm using is from this Country Gingham in the catalog, and it has a pretty mint. It's got a lot of pretty colors in there, but I wanted a green, of course, for the tops on the carrots, and that's using a mint. So I'm going to reproduce that on this one. And there's always, like I said, I'm starting here with like the easy version of this card. And then just, show you a couple ways that you can step it up and make it a little more um, fun. I want to make sure I don't get that green on there. I don't mind getting my fingers inky. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but for me, it's always kind of a badge of honor. Show that I've been having fun. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. And then for this one, I put the thanks a bunch. I put them on the same block. All right. So I've got thanks a bunch on here. Now, all we're going to do is put this on here and put that there. Okay, and that makes the same card as I made before. Now, let me go ahead and just adhere those down. So what can you do to step it up a little bit? Well, I always like to use rhinestones or sequins. And then another way is always ribbon. Another way is you could ink some color around the edges. You could stamp a little something in the background. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can kind of up the card a little bit. Get this on here. Okay. So I'm going to do, I'm going to do a couple of those with these cards now. So like I said, you could pop up. Maybe I want to add another carrot or two. I think I'm going to add 2 carrots to this one, and I'll put those on dimensionals. That gives your card some actual dimension and not just making it look like it from the masks. Thought I had some little tiny dimensionals, but I think those are over on the desk. I just want to make sure I have more than one down here to adhere this. Okay, so then I can pop a couple of extra carrots up here. If you wanted to cut out some of this greenery, it would be a little more time consuming, but certainly something that could also be done. All right, so I'm going to pop those up there. So now I've got 5 carrots on this one. Okay, so then we can also take, and this is the 3 twine combo pack. It doesn't have a mint in it, but I think this garden green that's in here will be fine to make a little bow to go on. So let's see if I'm just gonna tie a bow here. I'm a little bow challenged, but it's okay. I think I'll do better if I start with a knot. And you can, I mean, people have, bow makers and all this other stuff, which is fine, but I'm just tying a simple little bow for this one. Simple little bow. And sometimes when you're trying to do it on camera, it's not so easy. There we go. I wanted this to be pretty small. If you're afraid of it coming out, you're not coming out, you can always put a little dab of glue on there. Let's see. Okay, and I think I will put a little dab of glue on this one to hold it down. See, now you've added another little element to this to make it look like it's a bunch of carrots. Okay, the alternative for a ribbon could be to put a piece around the edge. And I've got some of this older, this organza ribbon. I always thought that was so pretty. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, and you could put that around here like you might with a, actually, I don't think I'm going to tie a bow on this one. I think, well, yeah, well, I'll just tie a knot. This always makes a pretty element, and it gives a little bit of beauty to the inside of the card too if you tie the ribbon around. These particular white ribbons are fun because you could even ink them and make them into a mango color or another color, the mint. These aren't my ribbon scissors, but luckily they are working. Ribbon scissors are over on the other side. Look, and I've got that mango ink all on my fingers. There we go. I'll trim those up with the ribbon. But see how that makes it, whoops, makes it nice. That makes it nice. And then, of course, you've always got your rhinestones or your sequins. And I think this time I am going to just put, oops, I think I'm going to put them down here. You know, you can put them on top of the image that you stamped, or you can put them like in between where the two papers are coming together. You can put them, right, so that looks cute. This one, I think I'll put them around. But see how just adding a couple extra things can step up the card. And remember I was talking about last time, these rhinestones to me go with everything. Always using 3. All right, so see, we stepped this one up with a little bit of twine and the rhinestones. We stepped this one up with the little rhinestones and a ribbon. Now, the other thing is, like I did on this card, sometimes I will take just regular copy paper as opposed to our basic white, because the copy paper then doesn't add any bulk to the inside of the card. So for this one, I think I'm actually just going to do, I'm really getting my fingers inky today. I'm just going to do a couple of these bunches of carrots. Maybe, I think I'll put them in the bottom 2 corners. Oh, and then I should show you also something else. Let's see, where did I put my little topper? Left it back in here. We'll take those off. Put these on. Those are like the ones that I did on the envelope. Okay, and then normally on these, I don't adhere the whole thing down. I just run a bead of the adhesive across the top of the paper and attach it, much like, you know, when you get the cards from Hallmark or whatever, and they've got an insert, you know, they're not usually attached the whole way. So this way it'll stay in there, but it's not adding any bulk at all to the card. All right, so basically the same card, but just a couple of ideas about how to step it up. All right, so then I've got one more that I wanted to do, and I lost my white piece. Well, we'll get started on this. Hopefully it's going to turn up. So this time I'm using the mint macaron as base. I'm going to put this down here, and then I had a piece of white cut that goes here. But of course it is nowhere to be found. You know, I'm pretty sure that every single video I lose something. There it is. Okay. Let's see, I know I had to cut. Okay, so this one, I'm going to just use a piece of, I wanted to put like the carrots were coming up out of the ground. So for this one, I'm just going to remove these. Making quite the mess. So I'm really only inking. That was the dog, if you heard her give a big sigh. And again, I could, if I wanted to make these overlapping, I could use my mask or whatever. But I didn't really care about that for this one. And then I wanted to put my little toppers. But this time, I don't want them long like that. So again, I'm going to mask this. And I'm just using a plain Post-it note and putting it along the top where I have those stamped here. And that way, I'm not going to stamp those long stems. I'm just stamping that greenery, the little leaves. So masking can be used in a couple of different ways. See, and then that makes it look like, it doesn't have that long stem coming off of there. Okay, so let's finish this one. This is just a fun set. This set, for whatever reason, reminds me, one of the very first sets that I used from Stampin' Up! Was one that had shoes. And I thought, I'm just going to use my liquid. I thought at the time, it's like, shoes, whatever. I went to a class at somebody's house, and I made a card that had like this pair of platform shoes, and then it said, Miss Shoe, miss you, And I thought, oh, I don't know if I'll ever send this one, but, it was fun to make. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I came upon the opportunity to send that card, and to this day, almost 20 years later, that person still says to me, Miss you. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so then I think here I want to put, I didn't plan for that. I want to put a piece of something here. So you could have used a piece of ribbon there. I could use a piece of the twine, but I think I would rather just use a piece of, that one would actually go there, but I don't think I want to put there. We could put long words there, but I was going to use my punch and put my words this time in mango. Still trying to think what I want to put there. I didn't plan for that. This one is a little bit different. Okay. All right, so this one I'm going to put one word on the front and one word on the inside. Anyway, that kind of pun, that Miss Shoe. or, thanks a bunch and have a bunch. Those kind of cards I have found through the years I always have an opportunity to use. So let me just find, oh, maybe that would be pretty. All right, so here's some of our, oh, I don't want to use, oh yeah, I can use ribbon. This is the Real Red and Burlap Ribbon Combo Pack that, again, is in the newer catalog. And I think I will use a piece of this burlap ribbon here. And get my ribbon scissors this time, because I want to make sure I cut this one just right. I was not prepared for something in the middle there. I don't know why I didn't think about it. Anyway, I can't believe it's February already. January somehow is gone. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece. It's going to go here. And then I'm going to just dovetail these two ends. The ribbon doesn't always have to go around. See, I think I'll put that on there like that. You know what? I'm just going to there we go. And that will dry. And then I'll put the thanks. I wonder if I should put a piece of crumb cake there. Since I have the crumb cake ribbon. Again, just stepping it up a little bit. Okay. This one on the front, I think I'm going to pop up. Sometimes I know it's good to see somebody's process. They're thinking about doing these rather than just seeing the final card. This one, though, I am not going to pop up for the inside. Just put a little bit of liquid glue on that one. Okay. Now, again, on this one, I could put some rhinestones, or I could make little, bows for those, or there's a whole bunch of things that you could do. So I hope that you'll be interested maybe in this set. I think that it's cute. I love the kind of, this is not really a pun, but I love these cards that are just kind of whimsical. And don't forget about masking when you're doing your cards, or popping one of your images up, and that both of those will give your card some depth. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.